Every part of our nation is run online. So what do we do as a nation when bad people, criminals who are very much online now, what do we do when they choose to set their sights on us? Everybody remembers this recent story about Colonial Pipeline. Colonial Pipeline, this major, major fuel artery back east. Hackers go after it and shut it down. Okay, that's a big deal, right? That's a problem. Russian-based hackers, I should point out, but that's a big deal. All right, let's get things figured out. We got some gas lines. We'll get it worked out, but let's make sure we have a plan in place going forward. Well, what was the plan going forward? Well, Colonial Pipeline paid $5 million in ransom so the hackers would allow them to turn the power back on. And as you know, what do I love most in the world? Being able to say, I told you so, and I'm right. I came on the show that day when I heard they had paid that ransom. I came on that day and I said to you, this is a lot bigger deal than you think it is. Because it wasn't about Colonial Pipeline. It wasn't even about those specific hackers. It was about the message paying that ransom sent the rest of the world. And I told you on that day, it's about to be open season for hackers on the United States of America because we just told them all. We just told all of them, well, go ahead, attack our critical infrastructure. We'll make you rich if you do it. What should our response have been? Look, this may be too direct for you. I don't care. It's not your mommy's show. It's your daddy's show. We should have immediately arrested everybody at Colonial Pipeline who agreed to pay $5 million. They should all be awaiting trial right now. And we should have sent some very dangerous men to go knock on the door of those hackers and make sure they never hack anything else again. That's not because I'm some murderous, savage monster who wants somebody to die. It's not even about the hackers. It's not even about Colonial Pipeline. It's about the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, because now we have a huge open for business sign with hackers on the United States of America. How right was I? Well, I don't know. Here's a headline. Ransomware disrupts meat plants in the latest attack on critical U.S. businesses. The meat plants were attacked too. That's 20% of the nation's beef supply. You ever buy beef? That going to be important to you at all? You think we should pay another ransom to somebody next time they hack us? Oh, these were Russian hackers as well. Oh, another headline, Massachusetts steamship authority hit by cyber attack. Not only are they attacking us, we're paying ransoms and telling them to do it again. But it goes way beyond beef prices and oil. The entire nation is online. The nation is online. This would be like in ancient times building a beautiful city and not having a wall around it at all. That's what we're doing when we pay these things. And I will tell you, I experienced it very briefly. Very, very briefly. It was a couple months ago. We had a big freeze in Houston. I don't know, it might have been 3 or 4 months ago. I don't do dates. But we had a big freeze in Houston. It was actually a hard freeze. It never freezes here, right? It's Houston, Texas. It's subtropical. Well, it froze over. Of course, lost power, lost water for a couple days. I was fine. Don't worry about me. I was fine. I've got some preparations for such a thing. But people were not fine. People died. How bad was it? Well, it was 2 days. 2 days, and people died. How would the city have done if it was a week? How about a month? What are you prepared for? Are you ready? Because this is what it looks like. I got a brief glimpse of it, but I'm just telling you, are you ready for a month without access to drinking water from your fountain? Are you ready? I didn't have clean drinking water in my fountain. I was fine. Are you fine? Are you fine if the gas station shuts down? Our gas station shut down because we lost power. They didn't have power. They couldn't do anything about it. You ready for no clean water? Ready for no gas? Oh, but Jesse, I'll be fine. I'll go get some food. Really? I thought the same thing. I drove in the parking lot of my grocery store. It was dark, and the doors were locked. because they not only lost power, their emergency supply ran out, they didn't have clean water, they shut down too. Okay, well, all these places are online. What are we going to do when the power grid goes down? Are we ready? Are we preparing for it as a nation? I mean, that is their one job they're supposed to do, right? As the government, they're supposed to protect the nation. For the most part, they should just be leaving us alone, but they're supposed to be protecting us. Well, here's your President of the United States, your Commander-in-Chief. Here's what he's digging into.
According to the intelligence community, terrorism from white supremacy is the most lethal threat to the homeland today. Not ISIS, not Al-Qaeda, white supremacists.
Headline, climate change and extremism among the military threats targeted in the DoD, that's Department of Defense, budget request. Oh, you remember the Army video we played. You don't worry, I'm not going to play it again. We'll play it in the background for you here. The woke Army ads. Remember the little lesbian girl, or no, the little girl, parents were the lesbians, and my mom and my mom were so important, and I was out marching and protesting for equality. In the meantime, they're hacking. They're going after your power. They're going after your water. They're going after your food. This is not, if it seems like I'm upset, it's because I am, but it's not at you. I'm upset because the one thing government is supposed to do, they have no interest in doing at all. Time and time again, these people have been asked, what are you doing about it? Joe Biden has been asked. Jennifer Psaki has been asked. They've been asked time and again, we are being attacked. We have these ransomware attacks. What are you going to do? And you know the answer? They can't even fake like they care. You know the answer we get time and time again from all of them? Well, it's a private sector issue. I mean, these are private companies. I mean, I'm not really worried about it. It's a private company. Let me ask you something. And look, I'll wrap this up with this. Let me ask you a really hard question. Are you 100% convinced the President of the United States of America and the people around him even want to protect America? Are you sure they do? And before you say, Jesse, that's crazy. Of course they do. Really? Are you sure you understand the mentality of the communist? Do you think the communist sits back and looks at critical attacks against America, the country he hates, and says to himself, I should put a stop to those? Or do you think the communist sits back and looks at those attacks and says to himself, nice, we might have an opportunity here? Hey, thanks so much for watching the first on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me, like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me. Thanks.